Welcome to Convict Inc. I'm the host of the show, Robert Rosso, coming to you from Cushing, is that what it is? Oklahoma, someplace in the middle of nowhere where there's probably tornadoes coming at any moment. Anyway, so I ran into somebody the other day who knew the story of a member of the Aryan Brotherhood, California Aryan Brotherhood, by the name of Bobby Ray, who I've talked about at great lengths. And it seems like I'm putting him down at great lengths every time I talk about him. That's not been the intent. It's been one of the guys that I've been around the most in the feds as far as ABs. And this is another Bobby Ray story, or in part, I'm talking about multiple things here. In part about something he did in Lompoc. And I brought this up before. I'm not sure if it was in a live or just one of my AB videos, whatever it was. But I believe it was somewhere in between 2003 and 2005 for sure. At USP Lompoc, that's when it was a United States Penitentiary. It's since dropped to a medium or a FCI, even though it's still called USP Lompoc, I believe. There were members of the California Aryan Brotherhood / Federal Aryan Brotherhood at Lompoc, and one of them was Bobby Ray. A lot of Nazi lowriders were under Bobby Ray. In California, there was a gang that started in the Youth Authority called the Nazi Lowriders, or NLRs. They went through a phase where they were like anti-Aryan Brotherhood. A lot of them started with something called Fuck the Brand, or FTB. They used to put on their knuckles. But in general, there's a lot of NLRs that kind of fell in tow with the Aryan Brotherhood, and a lot of them end up becoming members of the Aryan Brotherhood. Anyway, there was a skinhead gang at Lompoc that was, I'm not going to say dominant at the time. Usually when you have any member of the ABs, they're probably the dominant force. If there's one and there's a bunch of Nazi lowriders, it will still be considered, quote, a brand yard, close quote. Brand meaning the nickname or name, moniker, whatever you want to say for the Aryan Brotherhood. I don't know if I said that right, but whatever. Anyway, so there was a guy who was getting in a lot of dope. He was a member of he was a skinhead gang, and I don't know which one, to be honest. But there was also a guy there out of Utah by the name of Victor Bucci. Victor Bucci was a super rat. His dad, I believe, was the Attorney General for Utah at one time. And people didn't know it, of course, but he was in there like undercover informant guy, and he became real close with Bobby. Well, what was happening is anybody that was white who brought in drugs, Bobby wanted or demanded, I think, a third of the package. So if you brought in an ounce, he wanted a third of the ounce. And it was well known that this guy, or the skinhead gang, the member, the leader, I should say, was bringing in heroin pretty frequently. Well, sure enough, Bobby pulled him up, said that he wanted a third, and I don't know if the guy said yes, no, I don't know what really happened. Neither does the guy here who I've been talking to. But whatever happened, the guy just totally disrespected Bobby and said, fuck you, he didn't give him half. Well, lo and behold, within a couple of weeks, the guy got another package in, and Bobby found out about it. Well, rather than confront him or have some of the NLRs jump on him, NLR's kind of like the wrecking crew or the soldiers for the brand, the guys that were at Lompoc anyway. That was Grumpy, I know, was there. Boulderhead, I believe, was there. I believe, but anyway, it's a couple names I just threw out. Rather than have anybody go hurt him, what Bobby did was he went to a guy who was HIV or AIDS positive, and he also used heroin and got a bunch of blood from him, and he had him get some of his HIV blood, and hooked the member of the skinheads up with a shot. So what he did was he infected the shot with HIV blood, had the guy shoot it up. I don't know if the guy knows to this day what happened. This came from, and like I said, Victor Bucci told me the story. This guy is here with me now. I'm not going to name his name. And to tell you the truth, two other members of the Aryan Brotherhood told me the story as well. And even though I was in Lewisburg with them and they were prospects at the time, they were NLRs, I'm not going to put them out there and say their names because I don't want any problems for them. But they didn't think highly of Bobby. And told me the story about it. Just scumbag fucking story. On a different note, I want to go back and revisit something that I was talking about, and that is the Universal Aryan Brotherhood, who was a gang that was started out of the Oklahoma prison system in the 90s. Originally started, like I said, as a regular prison gang, and it's since mushroomed into a really well-structured criminal organization. And What I mean by that is they do have a structure. I do know it. I'm not going to get into it because I'm not here with anybody to get permission about it. I will be writing a book about 100%. You can mark my word. Everything I've ever flaked out on, I said I was going to do. I know where the transcripts are. I know who to talk to. I've got permission for it. I'm going to be writing a book about the UABs. They're too impressive, and I would argue have done far more as far as building a criminal enterprise than the original Aryan Brotherhood's ever dreamed of. And that's in part because of technology. When you're talking about guys that do drone drops in prison that start at $10,000 per drone drop just to have the person fly the drone in, that's not including the contraband that's coming with it, you're talking a pretty big deal. I have seen reports, I've seen paperwork, indictments, discovery, where it was nothing for them to have 100 kilos dropped here and there. And by the way, these guys were behind the walls in prison with cell phones making these kind of deals. Buying houses. Guys with life sentences buying houses from inside a prison. And I'm not talking one or two. I'm talking about dozens of them. So from a criminal aspect or criminal organization, by far, UABs have outshined anybody that I've ever come across. Maybe there's plenty more I know. And I'm not talking about the Italian Mafia. I'm just talking about people that started as, one could say, ragtag prison gangs and have mushroomed into something more. I do know that in the Oklahoma system, the UABs made the Oklahoma Aryan Brotherhood cover their patch and either join or drop out, including, what was it, White Eagles. There's another gang out of the... There's two more gangs out of Oklahoma that were forced to drop patches, white gangs, because of the UABs. And their mortal enemies have been the Irish mob. I think they've since made truce. But in the prison I'm at, which is Cushing, when it was a state prison, there was a tit for tat on bodies where the ABs and the Bloods were killing each other, or was it the Irish mob at this one? So they had two different wars. One where they go after Bloods, the Bloods go after them, and the other one was with the Irish mob. There's another huge gang out of Oklahoma with a pretty well-structured another criminal organization. What else? I just wanted to give a kind of a general thing about the Aryan Brotherhood today while I was talking about it yesterday. That's about all I can think of right now. Again, it probably sounds like every time I get on here and talk about the 80s, I slam Bobby Ray. He's in the hat anyway. He got himself problems. But my point is, I was around him. I was around Barry Mills, and I was around T.D. Bingham in the shoe for a minute. Me and one of my former Dirty White Boy brothers, several months ago, were having conversations about that meeting in the hole, which I talk about in one of my AB videos. That's when the ABs tried to get the Dirty White Boys to drop patch and cross over to the Aryan Brotherhood. That was in 2002. But we were having a conversation about it, and as far as gang perspective, how the Dirty White Boys kind of fucked up by not doing that at the time. We were just going in, talking about that. Anyway, I don't miss any kind of gang or organized crime life. As a matter of fact, there's people that think that maybe I liked incarceration better, that I'm more comfortable in here. Let me tell you something. Yes, it's true. I can do time standing on my head. It is absolutely 100% true. As far as being in my element or being more comfortable here, I think what happened when I got out, I really wasn't ready for society in a lot of ways. And it's not that I'm more in my element here. It's more that I know how to navigate, and out there that I didn't. And I had so much anxiety, I didn't really know how to deal with it. Not making up excuses. I'm just trying to figure it all out, because I'm going to tell you something. I fucking hate being incarcerated. This will be the last time I'm incarcerated. You can mark my words on that. Every day I wake up and I can't believe I'm back here again. I know it sounds stupid, because in a way it's like, where else did I think I was going? I do hope in the future, Congress, who I hope to get the ear of at least a couple of them, by the way, I hope that they can recognize that people that get dirty urines that are on U.S. supervised release or federal supervised release, it makes absolutely no sense to send us back to these prisons. It's almost to the point of where it's comical if it wasn't happening to me. It's such a fucking joke. These places are so flooded. Street prices of drugs, and you send me back here. No, this isn't a slight to my judge either. It's a slight to every congressman who thinks this is a good idea. It's a slight to every person out there in the criminal justice reform arena. prosecutors, judges, Congress people, everybody who think this is a solution. I'm sorry, morons. You're morons. And again, not you, Judge Brooks. I love you. Morons, though. Complete idiots. You guys are morons. The only thing I can think of is that you don't, nobody cares because this is part of the economic system. It's part of our economics. Otherwise, if you really did care and you guys would take a look at this big picture and just say, what the fuck are we doing? Anyway, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to go stay sober and watch everybody else be fucking strung out because Congress is a bunch of morons. I don't know what else to say. All right, I'll stop. Just kind of getting my jokes off. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye.